we're gonna have a look at the most expensive champion in Raid Shadow Legends, guys. I finally managed to collect this champion after like 1.5 years or so, and we're gonna see if this champion is actually any good whatsoever. Can we do anything with the champion? Is it worth it to even bother to try and get the champion? You have a few different options on how you can actually collect this particular champion. Either if you're spending money, as free to play, this is without a doubt the hardest champion to collect in Raid Shadow Legends. Now, I am talking about the champion that you're gonna get from the Platinum Points program. Right here, you're not gonna be able to see mine anymore because I flipped over to the next page. But I am talking about this particular champion, Saoirse, the chart. She looks pretty interesting. Overall, she's not really doing much, right? And we're gonna see exactly what you can do with the champion, considering that it takes so long to get her. If you are a free-to-play player, it will approximately take you around 3 years to get this champion. You've heard that right, 3 years. So looking at Quintus, looking at Marius, looking at Carnage becomes much easier to get them compared to this particular champion, right? Now you have a few different options on how you can get a champion. We're gonna head over to their website where we have basically all of the information related to the very first page of the Platinum Points program. When you spend some money in the game, guys, you're gonna get Platinum Play Points. This is only for PC users. If you're doing it on mobile, you're not gonna get Platinum Points at all, right? Sometimes they're doing events where they're giving you a few Platinum Play Points, right? Sometimes they're giving you some for free. But either way, basically, if you spend $10, you're gonna get 50 points. That's kind of like how the math breaks down. So 500 points for a $100 pack. Just doesn't matter what pack it is with different goodies, whatever. All of them, they give you Platinum Play Points, right? Now, if we're gonna head over to their website, you're gonna see that you need 25,000 points to get this champion. 25,000. Which means that if we're gonna quickly do a bit of math right here, guys, so you have 25,000 points, right? And in order to basically get 500 points, you need to spend $100. So you split this at 500 points, and you're gonna get 50 packs. Now you multiply this with $100, and that will give you $5,000. Yes, $5,000 to get this champion if you're just going ham on spending, okay? Now you have, of course, different options on how you can actually acquire this champion much cheaper. But in order to do that, you need to be missing a few wheels, okay? You're definitely not doing anything right in here. So don't find any excuses if you've done it, you filthy degenerate Kraken. Basically, Plarium right here somewhere in the shop, guys. I'm not even sure exactly where, to be honest. I gotta actually pay a look a little bit. There you go. It gives you this option to buy only Plarium Play Points with $50 for 2,500. So more or less, you buy 10 packs. It's actually less than 10 packs because you're getting a 250 more from here. So it's around there, more or less. 10 full packs, basically. But you should not be doing this under no circumstances. It doesn't matter how big of a Kraken you are. It's just the dumbest thing you can do to buy just Platinum Play Points because they give you literally nothing. All of the rewards that you are getting on the site from the program, guys, like some energy, a couple of low chaos ores, a few gems, are just not worth it, no matter how you're trying to justify it, right? So the champion kind of like comes at a cost of 5,000 if you're willing just to spend quick. But of course, if you are playing for a long time, let's just assume you've been playing since before this program was introduced in the game, and you've completed pretty much all of the events and stuff that were giving you Platinum Play Points. You're collecting all of your dailies by playing on a PC, right? So you're getting 9 of them for free from here. By now, you should be at around halfway through it. So let's just say you do have different options on the table on how you can acquire the champion without spending the true value of 5,000, right? Because that's kind of like where it goes if you're just looking at the regular packs and not at the illegal shop, okay? So what I want to see in today's video, guys, is if the champion has any use whatsoever. Can we get some value out of this champion? Now, if you guys are not familiar with the kit in general, we're gonna go over it quickly. These are basically the base stats. The reviews don't look very good on the champion, and I do have to say that I agree with the reviews. Maybe I would make them even worse, okay? With the A1, you have a triple hitter, which has a chance to increase the duration of any HP burn debuff on the target by 1 turn. Also, each hit has a chance of decreasing the duration of a random buff on the target by 1 turn, which honestly doesn't sound too bad. The triple hitter, let's just say we could use this champion maybe in the Fire Knight because of the multi-hits. Then you have this skill, which is kind of the creme de la creme on this champion's kit, on a 4-turn cooldown, not on a 3, on a 4-turn cooldown. Attacks all enemies, has a 100% chance fully booked of placing an HP burn debuff for 2 turns. Then the A3 right here, Blazing Panic, on a 4-turn cooldown as well, not on a 3-turn cooldown. Attacks all enemies, decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 15%, decreases the turn meter of enemies under HP burn debuffs by an extra 15%. And the passive sounds pretty interesting on paper, right? Whenever this champion is attacked by an enemy under an HP burn debuff, heals this champion by 25% of the damage received, which means that she is able to get a bit of a beating and still stand. Also, has a 15% chance, 30% fully booked, to instantly activate any HP burn debuffs on the attacker. So that's what the champion can do, guys. Now, if we are looking at different champions like Dragstar Bloodwing, epic champions like Skratch, Mordecai, these champions tend to pretty much have the same value, to be honest. Maybe I'm finding Mordecai more valuable just because he brings increased attack as well, and he does have the HP burn on a 4-turn cooldown as well, right? But he has AoE turn meter manipulation, very similar with the other champion. But he's an epic champion, and by any means, it doesn't cost you $5,000 to get a champion. Let's quickly dive into the build and see what the champion can do. I am currently on the test server to do this, guys, because I don't have enough books to throw it in her, and I definitely don't want to get the masteries. And you're gonna find out in a second why exactly. Now, the reason why I'm making this video, guys, if by any chance any of you guys filthy degenerate krakens that started playing recently are just going absolutely ham on the game, do not invest in the champion. Wait and see what she can do in this video. So I decided to build her on Perception because Plarium gives us Perception gear to go alongside with the rewards in the Plarium Play program, right? Then, of course, I have a Blood Shield accessory on her, and that's because of the blessing that I have on. She is Force Affinity, which might enable us to make her work as a spider tank on the lower stages for progression. So as a blessing, guys, I went with Emergency Heal. There are not many different blessings that you can really get to benefit the champion, to be honest with you. So we have the following total stats on her. 57k HP, 5.3k defense, 256 speed, no crit rate, no crit damage. We're not gonna try her for a DPS build because she's just not meant to be. 412 resistance, 367 accuracy. Now that resistance should be more than enough for the spider dungeon. We're gonna try her in a couple of different areas as well, and let's see the masteries. We have offense and support Giant Slayer as tier 6 because she does have a triple hitter on the A1, which is actually nice to have a multi-hit skill. Arcane Celerity to rotate the turn meter a bit more often because we are going to land debuffs. Master Hexer, and we're gonna get Spirit Haste. We're gonna head over directly to the Spider's Den. What I'm curious to see, guys, is if she can actually stay alive as a spider tank without having regen gear. And that's, of course, because of the blessing, and of course, because of her passive. So, the passive sounds very, very interesting. I'm actually super curious to see if we can actually make it work without regeneration gear. If not, we might bring a regeneration set at some point to see. Now, right here, because we are weak affinity, we're gonna basically hit on this problem. We're not going to land the HP burn on all of the spiderlings, and that will cause us issues with the passive. But that's fine. We're gonna go over to stage 25 as well, just to see if by any chance that will work better, right? So we are getting resisted. We're not getting any poison debuffs. We landed more HP burn this time around, but we are definitely getting obliterated. Like, yeah, we're not going to survive this as a spider tank without regen gear. And honestly, on stage 20, considering that is the wrong affinity, it might not be the best option. I feel like if you're using Dragstar, which is a free champion, is way more accessible than her. He's gonna do a much better job at tanking the spider. The thing is, things evolved a lot in the game, and that's kind of like the next thing that I want to point out. 2-3 years ago, yes, was an amazing strategy to use a spider tank for stage 20 to allow you to basically farm that dungeon. And since then, we got stage 25, we got hard mode, so stage 20 is considered super mid-game, comparing it with 2-3 years ago when it used to be the end game, right? So I don't really think that is a strategy that people really value anymore, because you have so many different champions that can enable you to farm this dungeon without actually using one tank. They're champions that can solo it. They're champions that will absolutely demolish the boss, right? Now, if we're going to head over to stage 25, maybe we're going to be in a better luck here. I'm 100% sure that if I am going to change her build on a regen, she will be able to solo stage 25. And we are going to try that. And the reason why I'm trying it, maybe one day in the distant future, Plarium might make a tournament for Sylvan Watchers to do the Spider's Den as a tournament, right? And she might be helpful when that happens. I feel like if there are any stages in the Curse series that might require her, she can be very helpful. You see, she's not surviving with a passive, which is a bit unfortunate that her passive is just not able to bring in enough firepower to keep her alive. So what I'm going to do right now, guys, I'm quickly going to change the build to a regen set. Shouldn't take us too long to get the job done. Even if we are losing some speed, we're losing some accuracy. That's not a problem. And I'm pretty positive that we're going to be able to solo stage 25. In the same way that Tyrant can do it, or other similar champions, you know? She is the right affinity to get the job done there. She's actually strong affinity, which will be even better, to be honest. So let's see. Do we have something better here? Let me just quickly add some substats. So we want speed, accuracy, resistance. We need a helmet, right? Or we need a shield, maybe. There we go. We got a shield. Then we need a glove. This is a pretty good glove, so we can go with this one. Even if we're losing some of the accuracy, we don't really need so much accuracy, to be honest. It's a bit of an overkill. And same with the resistance. So we can actually get that on. We have a full regen set. And let's head over back to stage 25. She should be able to get the job done as it is. So the whole point, guys, is that even though they released this champion as being meh when they released it, the game evolved so much, got power creeped by all of the OP champions, that she becomes pretty useless. Actually, she becomes completely irrelevant in pretty much every content in the game. So I'm seeing this champion more like a trophy, to be honest, more like a Pokemon. And usually most of the filthy degenerate Krakens are trying to fill up the whole Pokedex. Personally, I've never been after I've never been following that goal, right? I don't care about collecting all of the champions in the game. I just don't care about it. I want to get the good champions. The bad champions are irrelevant. And this is the best example right here. But let me know in the comments down below. Maybe some of you guys managed to find a better role for her. Maybe some of you guys actually are gaining massive value from this champion on your account. Which honestly, I really doubt it, considering that as a free-to-play player, you're not going to get her early. As a spender, you're not really going to get her early unless you're really going ham. And even like this, she's really struggling, guys, which is actually crazy. I was convinced that it's going to be a piece of cake. She is a support champion with pretty good stats, right? Either way, she managed to get a job done. But if she was a bit squishier, she was going to absolutely fail miserable at doing this. Now, some of you guys might be wondering, why are you not trying her in the Hydra Clan boss? So if we are going to talk about the Hydra Clan boss quick, guys, basically, if you are bringing in a champion like her, she hits. she's gonna weak hit. She's not going to apply that burn through the toxic cloud that is being placed by the Head of Blight. So honestly, a Mordecai champion is just so much better than getting her done. Now I do have a bit of a different idea on how some of you guys might be able to use her. And I'm talking about maybe faction wars. I'm talking about maybe waves in Doom Tower, Curse City, mainly Curse City. Let's be honest, I don't really think she's gonna serve much of a purpose for any account out there except the Curse City. And even there, maybe she's not even required on any of the stages. And that would be a stun set. You can drop all of that resistance. You don't really need it anymore, to be honest. And the only thing that you kind of like want to get from a stun set is her stunning as many opponents as possible. And I'm gonna quickly give it a go like that too. And she does have 2 different AoE attacks. That's basically the only thing that might justify in trying her in a stun set, you know. So let's see. Do we have gloves instead? And we can go with any chest. It doesn't really matter, right? We can go with this, and we have the stats that we need. Plenty of accuracy even for the Curse City, and we have decent-ish speed, right? Now, I don't really have a stage in the Curse City that can actually use her. I do have the faction wars open because I am on the test server, as I mentioned. That's why everything is open, just in case if you guys are curious. And let's give it a go as a crowd control champion, and we're gonna go without a reviver in here. We're gonna go just like this, and let's see if she's actually going to benefit our team at all. So we got 3 stuns right there, but the rest of them are doing so much damage, and they're epic champions. I don't have any levels on my Great Hall. I do not have crazy builds on these epic champions or the Void Legendary. They're actually pretty average build, and I have a feeling that Eilil is actually even missing the gloves and the chest. So faction wars again proves that you're getting this champion way too late. She's useless, and this content is much easier than it used to be. Yes, I know new players, mid-game players, they might be struggling on some of these factions, either because their gear is not good enough, either because they are lacking key champions that are enabling you to defeat this faction much easier than it is, you know, basically. So there we go. 95k damage. She's not built for damage. She lands the HP burn, which can be helpful, but the rest of the champions are actually clearing up the waves pretty quick, right? And yes, the stun can be nice if you are building her on a stun set. The only place where I would use the most expensive champion in Raid Shadow Legends would be the Curse City. And of course, that depends on different rotations. Now, I want to just say, do not invest in the champion. Do not book the champion. Do not get masteries. Do not even bother to level her up unless you really need her for the Curse City, guys. So, I know this video was not meant to put her in some godly forming here to show you that she's amazing or anything like that. I just wanted to show you what you can do with the most expensive champion in Raid Shadow Legends in 2024. And the conclusion is nothing. You can do nothing with this champion, okay? So I just wanted to basically show you that, guys. As usual, appreciate all of you guys watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about this champion? You think she should be better than she is, or you're not bothered at all because she's a super pay-to-win champion? Much love, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.